Hi everyone. I want to discuss the process in writing a 5 paragraph essay. The first paragraph is called the introduction paragraph. Normally, the introduction sentence is 4 or 5 sentences long. The last sentence of the introduction paragraph is called the thesis statement. The thesis statement tells the reader a broad idea about what your paper will be about. You must have a thesis statement at the end of the introduction paragraph. I'm going to give you some examples of thesis statements. I'm putting this document in the Zoom chat. Please download it. So again, a thesis statement is the last sentence of the introduction paragraph. It tells the reader a broad idea about what your paper will be about. It's the roadmap as explained in this handout. So the thesis statement should help your reader understand what type of essay you're writing, what your statement or your claim is, your opinion, and you need to be specific. In a thesis statement, don't say this paper will discuss or I'm going to prove that or ask a question. Make sure your thesis statement is clear, concise, and to the point. Your thesis statement should be 1 sentence long. It's at the end of the introduction paragraph. For example, your history professor gives you a 5 page essay to write about, 5 page paper to write about. You must analyze why the North and the South fought the Civil War. So you need to think about a thesis statement before you write the paper. This is an example of a bad thesis statement. The North and South fought the Civil War for many reasons, some of which were the same and some different. This thesis statement, it's not specific. It's not clear. It's very ambiguous. It just rephrases the prompt. It doesn't really explain what your opinion is. This is a better thesis statement. While both sides fought the Civil War over the issue of slavery, the North fought for moral reasons, while the South fought to preserve its own institutions. This thesis statement is better because it's more clear on what exactly you're trying to explain or prove. This is the best thesis statement. While both Northerners and Southerners believed they fought against tyranny and oppression, Northerners focused on the oppression of slaves, while Southerners defended their own right to self government. So, this statement is specific, clear, and thoughtful. It tells the reader what exactly you're trying to write about. When you're structuring your thesis statement, you need to think about what type of essay you're writing. There's 3 types of an essay: analytical, argumentative, expository. So, analytical, you're explaining some type of issue and you're explaining why this issue exists. For example, obesity is a problem in America for different reasons. You can explain maybe because Americans don't exercise enough, they eat too much junk food, or they depend too much on cars or buses, they don't walk enough. So, obesity being an issue in America is an example of a problem you could write about in an analytical essay. An argumentative essay, you explain some kind of opinion you have and why your opinion is valid. For example, you think that schools should offer more subjects for students to study. Right now, schools don't offer enough subjects. That could be an argumentative essay. Expository, you're explaining your research on a topic. You're not necessarily debating something. So, again, while you're writing a thesis statement, think about what kind of paper you're going to write about: analytical, argumentative, expository. Again, the thesis statement is the last sentence of the introduction paragraph. The body paragraphs do not have a thesis statement. To help structure the body paragraphs, you can use a hamburger writing organizer. please download the hamburger writing organizer. I put it on the Zoom chat. So this is an example of a hamburger writing organizer. Each body paragraph, not the introduction, you can use this to help organize each paragraph. The first sentence is a topic sentence. The other sentences are details. And the last sentence is a closing sentence. So again, use the hamburger writing organizer to organize each paragraph, not the introduction, not the conclusion. The topic sentence must have a relation to the thesis statement. Again, the thesis statement is the last sentence of the introduction paragraph. The thesis statement tells the reader a broad idea about what your paper will be about. Have a great day. Bye bye.